If you've ever been on Yelp, Yelp is the worst of the worst. It's basically for people to complain.
It's a space for people to bitch. If somebody's going to take the time out to write something about your restaurant, 80% of the time it's not going to be good.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the bang.
When the sun goes down, the music turns up. A whole new world opens up behind the velvet rope. Join us as we take you behind the scenes of the nightlife world.
Are you ready?
DJ Jason Smith, Jeff London. I'm the promoter, he's the DJ podcast, live from Boston, Massachusetts.
Jeff, episode 14.
14.
Sorry we missed you guys last week. It was a little hectic around here, and we knew it was Memorial Day, and we usually drop our podcast on Mondays, and it was a national holiday, so we decided to give you a break from our bullshit.
Why was it so crazy last week, Jason? Tell him.
Was it last week? No, the week before.
No, what? Well, 2 weeks ago. Then again last week.
It's been pretty crazy around here. We have a lot of moving parts going on now that we're getting back into opening things up. We had our first club open in Connecticut, Shrine at Foxwoods. Which
How was it spinning
insane.
150?
We had 50 Cent the first night. Was it the first night? Yeah, first night. Friday was the first night we opened. We did myself and 50 Cent. And it was pretty spectacular. It felt good.
Yayo. Shout
out to Yayo. It was pretty spectacular to be back. Everybody keeps asking me what it was like, and it's like a good way to describe it. It's like being a basement or a bedroom DJ for like 18 months, and all of a sudden it's like fucking New Year's Eve, like back to back to back. It was intense.
Super intense.
It was almost so intense that the next night I was in Boston. I'm getting like the whole week is just like
a blur.
Because we started out Shrine, me and 50 Cent, and then Saturday I had to come back to Boston, and then last Friday I was back at Shrine with Rick Ross, and then I stayed to hang out with Diplo, and that was crazy too. I mean, every night we are sold out every night, so it was just
crazy.
like.
The amount of people that came out. It was
Shout out to everybody that came out, man. It was really nice to see everybody, all the support, and it was nice to see people's faces again, dude. Really nice to see people smile, for sure.
Yeah. 50 loved your set, though.
Yo, I did some shit that night.
I don't think 50's ever heard a set like that.
Dude, it was crazy, man. Like, I dropped, like, I haven't played Real Love by Mary J. Blige in, like, a primetime set in, like, fuck, man. Probably a long time. Yeah. Long time. Let's say over 10 years. And then for some reason, I was just like, I played a record that reminded me of, it's how it went. When you're in the zone, you just don't think. And it was just flowing. Right. When you start to think, you fuck up. Like the Knicks last night, they were playing. The kid gets the ball. He's wide open on the 3-point yard line. Or the 3-point fucking whatever it is line. And he hesitated, and the announcer's like, once you start thinking about what you're doing, it's a wrap. Yeah. And the same thing goes for what I do, you know what I mean? So it's like, last Friday, I was with Rick Ross. I was getting into the thinking mode too much, and I was like, I could tell. But when I was with 50 that first night back, it was like just coming naturally. So like, for some reason, I played something that reminded me of like Soul to Soul, which was, However Do You Want Me, but I remember that Mary J had a remix that she did with Jadakiss on the DJ Clue on a DJ Clue album. I think it was on Def Jam. Was Clue? Let me look that up real quick. I think DJ Clue had his albums come out on Def Jam. Did he have two or one?
Desert Storm was his label. Wasn't it Desert Storm?
That was his mixtape label.
Oh, okay. Then it would be Def Jam, yeah.
I think he did two releases. Like his mixtape. Oh, he did 3. The Professional 2, and the Professional 3. Oh, they were all on. Oh, know what they were? Desert Storm, which was Clue's label. Desert Storm was Clue's label.
That's what I just said.
Did you just say that?
Yes.
Shit. I don't fucking pay attention. I really do. I've been
literally
working.
just said
I've
Desert
been working
Storm.
on myself so much that I really have been paying attention to what
Literally
people say.
just said Desert Storm.
I didn't hear you. 'Cause
No, you did, and you said, no, that's his mixtape thing.
You're right.
Yeah. All right, we get into
You know who else was on Desert Storm to begin with?
Fab.
Fab, yeah. That's a little information. Look, see, we was about the culture over here. It was on Def Jam, Def Jam, Def Jam. Yeah, he did 3 deals with Def Jam. The first one went platinum. The Professional 2 went gold. And the Professional 3, which I can honestly say I do not remember hearing at all, didn't chart at all. And he also had a bunch of tracks on the Backstage, A Hard Knock Life. Remember that?
That was an amazing documentary.
Amazing. That was like probably one of the first hip hop documentaries about touring.
Well, I think Black and White was it Black and White too? The one
Parts
with
of it,
Biggie and
The show.
the show. That's what it was. Yeah.
Oh.
That's amazing.
But I
That
don't
wasn't
remember.
touring. That was just one show, I think.
It might have been a tour though. I can't remember. That's a good question to get the answer to. I don't remember if it was a tour or just a one night show.
That was an amazing.
It wasn't
show.
all Bad Boy artists either, was it?
No, because Wu-Tang was on it.
Wu-Tang was on it.
Kid
And it wasn't.
Capri was DJing.
Oh, shout out Kid Capri, man. That's who I want to DJ at my birthday party, man.
Let's get it
The
done.
show, and it wasn't like just Def Jam artists either. It was like,
They had other artists on there, yeah.
yes. So it was like artists. I wonder who put that together. Yeah, the show. African Bambaataa, Biggie, Curtis Blow, Puffy, Snoop, Dre, Warren G,
Wow.
Andre Harrell put it together. I think because it says Andre Harrell, or he was
pretty
just,
good, yeah.
Oh, it was
Russell Simmons?
No, Michael Tollin. I don't even know who that is. Well, Reicher Entertainment put it out. But it was just such a... I think it was all the hip-hop artists that were hot at that time.
Yeah,
were pretty much a
absolutely.
part of that. That was dope. Yeah, the show was dope. Speaking of which, did you see... Oh, shit. What's the name of that show with LeBron James on HBO?
Oh, the Barbershop?
Yeah, but that's not the name of the show, is it?
It might be. No, I think it's something like that where they...
Well, this now I've never watched it prior to the one I saw last night with Jay-Z.
I haven't watched it yet.
Does
I gotta watch it.
I won't spoil it for you then.
It's called The Shop.
The Shop. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: have you seen it previously?
Yeah.
So is it like one season has the same guest every episode, or is it every episode they have new?
Every episode they have new people.
Oh, okay. Because I was like really excited about the lineup. Like if I could see more of these individuals speaking on a weekly basis, that would have been dope. But
Oh,
he
you
has
mean the
different
same
guests.
guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it depends. So
they have different guests every week.
yeah, so like, except for episode 8, they just had Barack. But yeah, they had like episode 7, Patrick Mahomes, Chadwick
okay.
Boseman, Trey Young, Roddy Rich, Tiffany Haddish.
They had Roddy
Steve
Rich
Stiles.
on there?
Yeah, and Paul. We gotta watch this.
Yeah. No, I watched the one with Jay, Bad Bunny,
Yeah, Paul Rivera.
and it was so good. Jay told this story about DMX and touring. That's why we're talking about like,
Yeah, I
To go
actually saw
back-
the clip of that. It was pretty awesome.
he said, yo, how do I go on after this? And then he goes, on that tour, I didn't know. I was just like, he put me in a position where I had to better my live show. And the only thing I knew I could do better than what DMX was doing is we did more acapellas on that tour than we've ever
Right.
done in our life.
That's amazing.
So it was very interesting. Jay has a very amazing way of speaking that grabs your attention too, but he's still so hood at the same time. So
Right.
you could kind of like, he doesn't talk over people's heads. Like you get it. You know what I mean?
Did he get a haircut in the barbershop?
No, but he had his hat on backwards and he had like 3 dreads that were like, like rubber band up that were out of the opening of the snapback over. It was real weird.
Yeah,
Real weird.
I like that. Well, let's get to the question of the week.
Oh, we got question of the week. Always. Let's
Always.
go.
So, guys, send any questions of the week to.
I'm the promoter. He's the.
DJ.
We got to find a better way to do that where we can be like Mary Kate and Olsen.
Mary Kay and Ashley.
Yeah, Mary Kay and Ashley Olsen.
All right, so here's the question of the week. Outside of actual DJ, this is a Jason Smith question because we actually had he can maybe tell the story that goes along with this. But outside of actual DJing,
Yeah.
what are some OG cheat codes, as in earplugs, backing up computer, DJ safety?
Well, we had a major issue this past weekend.
Tell them what happened.
Is that why this question came out? You picked this one?
I did pick this one.
So,
Do you wear earplugs, first of all?
when I DJ, I do not wear earplugs.
If you're in a club, do you wear earplugs?
100%. My hearing is everything. If I don't have my ears, I don't have shit.
Very true.
But there was a deaf DJ.
Yeah,
What was his name? There's a movie about him too.
Yeah, wasn't he in
shit.
What's Wrong, Pete Tong?
Yeah, what's wrong, Pete Tong?
Yeah.
And he used to sit on the kicker.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
How'd you come up with that one?
I'm
It was
not
such
sure.
a weird, fucked up movie. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But he used to sit on the kicker so he could at least feel the kick. And that's how he'd mix the records.
Pretty crazy.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
He probably didn't know what he was playing, but he knew that the bass felt a specific
Right.
way. So I always wear earphones. I mean, earplugs when I'm not playing. I'm really trying to be good and like do it when I'm playing, but it's just like, it just doesn't work for me. Another OG thing is
Backing up your computer.
always have breath mints. Fuck the computer. My breath got to smell right. My bag is pretty funny what it has in it. I always keep hard ginger candies for when you get anxious. Settles your stomach.
Wow. Or ginger ale.
Too much sugar. Backing up your computer is like something that's fucking very important. And what kind of funny that goes along with that is Jeff and I haven't had a gig in 18 months. And the one day I finally have a gig, my computer screen just goes black every time I started opening up a program.
Yeah. It was not fun.
No. So my anxiety got tested that day, and thank God for therapy and my therapist for teaching me the tools how to deal with my anxiety. I think I handled it pretty well. My dog's in the back puking. Jeff's trying to call Apple, trying to get this stuff going, ask me questions. I'm hitting traffic. Everything's tested.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you have an appointment at the Apple store at 4:30.
Yeah. Shout out to Steph at Apple.
Shout out to Steph. Yeah. And the time said 4:40 we were going to get there. Get there just in time. They did something to my computer. Continued to go black. And all of a sudden it fixed itself somehow.
It was awesome.
Talk about, I mean, we were going up, and I had to be on at 11 o'clock that night. I think I was having computer problems till 10:15.
Yeah. It was
Talk
pretty
about
close.
stress, bro.
It was close. It was close.
And it was just the impact of that night, the pressure of that night without having your computer being fucked up is like unbelievable. So always have an extra charger in your bag for your computer too.
That's a good one. But you did have a backup, so you could
I had
have
two computers then. Yeah, I brought.
But it was So you did have a reliable source, but you need your main computer. Yeah.
Here's a fucking OG thing.
Give it to me.
You could put me in. I came out of the nitty gritty mean streets of New York City DJ booths, right?
Yeah.
Where you just get thrown into some of these things that are just like you wouldn't want to touch. Like you don't even want to touch these things. They're so dirty. Like New York is not a great place for
Lysol
DJ
wipes?
booths. Yeah.
Lysol wipes?
Lysol wipes is one.
Yeah.
Especially in the wintertime, I have Lysol wipes.
Yeah.
Everything could go completely wrong with everything DJ wise, and I'll still find a way to play music. I have at least one of my main crates backed up on a thumb drive that I could always plug into the CDJ. If that doesn't work, well, that's going to work. If my computer doesn't work, the thumb drive is going to work.
Right.
So I always have a way to be a professional DJ and really be professional. You have to be reliable.
We've always talked about being reliable.
It's such a major key. it's you have to. If you get in a position where you can't do what you need to do, you need to find another way to do it because somebody else is relying on you to play music. So I don't particularly like DJing on the thumb drives, but if I have to, because I have a problem, I have enough music in there to carry the night. Might not be the best night,
right?
But I'm not leaving you hanging.
Right. What about a mix CD? Not as much anymore.
Not as much anymore. No.
But did you used to carry one around? No, to help you back up.
No, I never played
Really?
off. I never actually DJ'd off CDs ever.
I know, but just like one mix, they'll carry you while you fix your broken needles or something like that. No,
because most places you either had CDJs or you never had a backup from turntables. That was the scary part of when Serato first came out. You didn't have is either turntables or nothing.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this story in the past before when I did Missy Elliott's hip hop honors party and going from vinyl to a CD was so hard because it wasn't a CDJ. It was just like one of those old mobile DJ. It's you push play and that's it.
Right.
So going from my DJ set of playing vinyl to like hitting like just like dead air drops of like these hip hop records was like so hard to do, man. That's the only time I actually played CDs because it's just. You can't stay in the zone if you're going from vinyl to CDs. It's just too much.
What about an OG cheat code of not having a microphone? Use your headphones.
You know that. Yeah, you know that. Did we do that the other day?
No, I don't think so. I hope not.
I thought we did that the night you were DJing at that place we went to. That basement party.
What, they were using the headphones?
No,
No. We had a mic. We had a mic.
You talked on your headphones for some reason.
Yeah. So if you don't know, you can use your headphones as a microphone.
Yeah, you just take it out of the headphone jack and plug it into the microphone jack.
Yeah, that's an OG. That's an OG cheat code.
But you have to figure out which one it is.
Because there's only one.
There's only one that receives and the other one doesn't. That's a good question of the week, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So once again, give us questions at I'm the promoter, he's a DJ, or hit up Jason or myself in the DMs.
Yeah, man.
We like getting your questions. We appreciate it.
It's part of the show. We want you guys to be a part of this show as much as we do. We just want you involved, man.
We love it
any way we can.
All right.
So wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
So you have this new segment.
I got a new segment.
But I had a question though. Since we don't have a guest this week, I'd like to. So since things are getting back to somewhat normal and you're starting to get busy, why don't we always talk about like the questions are like, the DJ stuff. Why don't you like run us? Because I had this question for you when Jeff and I were travel buddies. We were, what do you call that?
Travel buddies, bunk mates.
No. What do you call that one? That
roomie.
I'm so like I can't. The lane that you have to have two people in it.
Oh, the Hove.
Yeah, you're my
HOV,
Hove. You're my HOV guy.
I am the HOV guy.
So when we were traveling, why don't you let people know? Take the people through a night of Jeff because I know that you're a promoter, obviously, but like. Once your tables are in, you just go home. Like run through people through the night of what your night actually entails.
So for a night like, we have artists like Rick Ross or 50 or something like that. My main thing is for the club is to book tables. So the tables, obviously, the minimums are higher that night. So my work starts a week or two, basically when we announce the show. And from then on, I'm calling all my VIPs, booking them tables, getting them excited about that.
They're calling you too. Well, they see the lineup. Yeah.
Calling me as well, texting me, whatever. So night of stuff, we have table runners, myself outside.
So that's why you stand outside the whole time. You waiting
greet for
only your tables or just
everybody
tables in general?
Yeah, just tables in general.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense.
So greeting the tables, making sure they're in the VIP line, getting them processed quickly because they are the VIPs. Bringing them in, seating them, introducing them to the waitress.
Experience for them. Yeah.
So after all the tables are in, that's when you go check up on the tables, make sure they're having a good time, what can make the experience better. They're always, it's easier now texting you, but you want to show face, maybe have a shot with them, drink with them.
You want to make them feel special because they are. They're spending money to feel special. You have to make sure you give that experience to your clients.
Absolutely. And then when the night's over, the next day you text them, making sure that everything's straight, how the night went, how they like the placement of their table, offering them, next week we got this lineup coming, and so you're just in touch with them, and that's basically
build relationships.
100%.
So what about flipping tables? How
flipping
difficult
tables
is that?
It's harder. It's easier when it's a longer night. So, for example, when a night starts at like 9:00 and people are just coming in.
Or like in New York, it's probably easier because you have from 10 to 4.
Exactly. So it's easier to flip. It's harder to do that, but sometimes people only hang for 1 bottle or 2 bottles.
Yeah.
And then
what's the average time you think somebody stays at a table?
3 hours, I'd say. It's a long time.
I never bought bottles. People buy them for me.
Ooh.
I'm fucking fucking bougie.
OG cheat code over there. That's an OG cheat code. Yeah. But yeah, also, bringing people over to, they want, to hang out with girls and stuff like that. Some girls want to hang out at tables.
Do you pull random girls that are going to come in that night?
I know girls that are going to come in that night.
Oh,
yeah.
Let me bring you over this table.
Yeah, people will hit me up and be like, Jeff, is there tables I can hang out with today? And they're pretty girls, and they'll be like, yeah, absolutely, just come and I'll introduce you to some friends and things like that.
So is that different from like New York promoter tables where it's a promoter table full of girls?
Yeah. That's different. Yeah, I'm just
You're you're really working. Like that's just people getting paid to come in.
Absolutely.
Basically, those gentlemen are getting paid to bring people to a table to sit down just to put bodies in the club.
To put bodies in there. Yeah.
Now, do any places like that exist in Boston?
There are a couple guys that do that.
Yeah.
But that, I mean,
there's nothing. We're not saying there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I'm just trying to understand the different elements because some people say they're promoters and they just have a promoter table, and other people, which I'm used to seeing,
and we call them VIP hosts and hosts.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
All right. So when I see you outside working the doors, it's like something foreign to me because in New York it's not like that.
Right.
We don't have any promoters at the clubs then, really.
Yeah,
we have VIP
hosts. Yeah,
hosts.
Yeah, they sell themselves.
The door guy in New York is most of the time is the promoter,
right?
Because he's running the door and said, "Yo, if you want to come in, you're gonna have to buy this amount of tables."
Right.
And it changes probably from a night to night because
100%
the capacity,
absolutely, it changes
your availability,
and how much the talent costs and stuff like that. I mean, David Guetta table is going to get a different amount than.
I'm talking. Yeah, but that's a totally different scene. Like that's that's Ticketmaster. You're getting those tickets. I'm talking about places you're just walking up to the door, Avenue or like
right.
Places like that. I think that's a great answer, man, and I think that's a great segue into the new.
All right, the new one.
The new one. What is it, Jeff? The new segment. Let's go.
The new segment. All right, here it is. If you've ever been on Yelp. Yelp is the worst of the worst. There's very few that just really commend a place. Everything. It's basically for people to complain.
It's a space for people to bitch.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I utilize.
I do too. You utilize it too.
I want to see the pictures of the food.
Right. That's a good way to do it.
But most likely, if somebody's going to take the time out to write something about your restaurant, 80% of the time, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. So I've now noticed that on Yelp, across the globe, a nightclub, a bar, anything besides a restaurant, there is no more than 2 stars ever to a place. And it's awesome. And so I've just randomly started looking at these Yelp reviews, and I go back and I do it by stars, and I've gone to the worst ones, and they are hilarious. And it's just people getting rejected from clubs,
from the door, won't get let in,
absolutely hammered writing reviews. And so I'm gonna do the Yelp review of the week. We're not gonna tell which club it is,
of course not, and it could be anyone in the world.
I
remember reading a Yelp review about the box once, and they're like, "This place is a shithole and falling apart," and all this other stuff. Yo, listen, it was made to look that way. They actually had set designers come in to make this brand new building look old and decrepit. And this person was complaining about how it was like broke down and all that shit. No, it's supposed to look like that, bro.
Oh, man. You want to hear a good one?
Yes.
This is word for word.
This is verbatim.
Verbatim. Damn the guard who checked my ID since I went to the club so fucking shit. I'm not to say nothing. He's just said, I'm so drunk, but I'm not drunk anymore. If I drunk, why would you give me come to the club? And I went outside to smoke. He said, I cannot come in anymore, and I don't know what is going on. He just said, I'm so drunk. And he said, you can call your friend and pick you up, but they're down there, have signal, or how can I do? But any Goodrich, my boyfriend came up there and saw me, got a problem. Then he came down and let their friends, went back home. This is the good business, ? We are New Yorker, and I never got like this before. Oh my God, it's on Christmas Day. End rant.
Well, it was funny at first till I realized that that's actually my Yelp review.
That's pretty good.
Because I started drooling at first because it was so funny, and then I realized that's definitely something that I could probably write.
Probably. How about
verbatim?
How about somebody? This next one is somebody critiquing beers at a bar. Great show, but bottled Harpoon IPA tastes like an iodized old ale. No normal fresh hop aroma and raisiny malt taste. Awful. Stop selling beer for big money and not treating it well.
Oh, they probably like got it cold and like let it sit out.
Yeah, I guess skunked it. Yeah.
Skunked it. What a dope word. Oh, it's broken, you know? There we go.
Oh, yeah. It's,
skunky beer.
It
used to happen to, know what? It used to happen to Heineken's all the time.
Yeah.
That green bottle used to fuck it up.
All right, here's one. We'll do one more.
I'm glad I didn't read any of these that you put in the post because that first one was fucking amazing.
This one says, don't go here if it's freezing cold in heels and you have to pee, especially if you had anything to drink prior. They wouldn't let me in and accuse me of being drunk. Oh, I'm sorry. I know my limit. I'm not guessing to get belligerent even before getting into the club. It's Boston. It's cold as hell. Guess who can't shake or move to keep warm? They accuse you of being drunk. These are ridiculous. So we will now have a new segment every week where we have the most ridiculous Yelp reviews.
Can we include restaurants in that shit?
Yeah, maybe we have to.
No, that's a lot of work. Yeah. No, let's stick with the club shit. Let's go. Let's stick with the culture.
Let's go.
That was a good one.
All right.
That was approved.
A little story time action?
Let's go.
Gather around, kids. It's story time with Uncle Jeff. The names have been left out to protect the guilty.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell.
Well, it's that time of the week.
It is.
Story time with Uncle Jeff. What you got this week?
All right, this is the time that I learned that football fans never sleep. So this was many years ago, back at Gillette Stadium. In football, I mean, as I call it, soccer. So it's two huge teams.
Wait. I'm confused. It's a soccer team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they call it football.
Football.
Yeah.
Is that how they really say it? They call it like with an accent, like football.
I don't know. But it was AC Milan and Inter, so two Italian teams. And they played a sold-out Gillette Stadium.
Oh, so
game.
It wasn't like the Major League Soccer.
No, this is like
international.
This is like the big guys, yeah.
Well, yeah, I heard those are like the highest paid athletes in the world.
It's crazy. So these guys play at Gillette. I get the call. Both teams are coming to party. It's a Sunday night. This is before Cure existed, Jason. Before Jason says there's no Cure.
If you don't know, every time Jeff has a story and it says it's Sunday, there's only one place that had a Sunday place. So I always, it's funny. So, okay.
So this club is downtown called Mantra. So we had a great time that night.
I DJ'd there once.
You might have.
I think I did New Year. Oh, this is a crazy story. I don't mean to interrupt.
My
first time like DJing in Boston, and I remember I had a pink polo shirt on, right? button up, right?
Yeah.
With my Yankee hat. And
Oh,
nobody
wait.
liked me.
I'm interrupting. You're interrupting. Shout out to Alex Bossy on the shirt. If anybody's watching this on YouTube, Alex Bossy brought the glitter back.
He did,
Brought the-
man.
yeah.
Jeff looks like a shiny fucking disco ball on here.
Bedazzled.
Between his beard, and we need to put some of those rhinestones in your beard.
Nice. Bossy Sportswear. Shout out to Alex Bossy. Thank you.
And I wonder why nobody liked my set. It's because I had a fucking Yankees hat on.
Well, so you are Manchas. It was an old bank vault.
I don't remember, man. I'm old, bro.
All right. Well, anyways, we crushed it that night. They had a great time.
Well, of course. I mean, who doesn't have a great time when you must have been young then? And
I was young.
You're a Spitfire.
I was Spitfire. The players are having a blast. They didn't want to stop. It's 2 a.m. They're not used to it.
No, it's early.
There's a restaurant across the street, and the owner, Italian restaurant. Owner's Italian.
Oh,
and
fucking
these
loved it,
Milan
right?
and Inter, these are
forget
like,
about it,
yeah.
They're like gods, right?
We walked both teams, a few other patrons,
Yeah.
some girls right over across the street. Awesome. We partied there. He just let the bar open. Everybody's just drinking. So we're crushing it. Probably got some tunes going. We stayed real late. So the hotel that they're staying at, the Four Seasons, is literally probably like 2 blocks. So I go to the guys. I'm like, you guys want to walk back soon or whatever? And they're like, no, we can't walk back. I'm like, well, it's like 4 a.m. Understand? They're like, no, we'll have a bus come pick us up. And I'm like, all right. So,
Baller.
yeah, but I'm like,
Footballer.
that's good. But I was wondering why, like, you couldn't, just walk back. I was like, it was like
Happened to me
like
once.
30, like,
Yeah.
dudes. So we walk back. So we get the bus. They go back to the Four Seasons. I walk back and like wait for them because we're about to go eat breakfast at the Four Seasons. They turn the corner, and there must have been 200 people at 4:30 in the
Waiting
morning
for autographs and stuff?
waiting for autographs.
Holy shit.
And the crowd noise when these guys got off the bus was like something I've never seen before. And I realized that football fans never sleep. And these guys were crazy. And they signed autographs. They must have been hammered at 4 a.m. signing autographs. And these people waited outside the whole
Well, that's
day.
very nice of them, man. I appreciate people like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
But that was the time I realized football fans never sleep.
That's awesome, man. I did that once. I was on the road, and we went to this after party after the club, and I felt like I was in this car forever.
Yeah.
And we get this after party, and I'm having a couple drinks, and I'm like, all right, man, I got to go back to the hotel. I called the Uber, and the Uber comes and gets me, and the lady's like, you sure you want to ride? And I was like, yeah, why? She goes, your hotel's at the end of the street.
No.
Yeah, dude. I go, hey, I'll just pay the minimum. Just take me there.
No way.
Because you had to have an Uber minimum. It was pretty funny, man. That's my life. I didn't know where I was, bro. I know I could have looked it up, but I just thought I just thought I was so far away.
Right.
I guess we couldn't find a parking spot.
That's pretty good.
You know what that means? Breaking news. Breaking news. You are now in tune to the PNN network with your host, Jeff London.
All right.
I don't know what the positive news is this week, but
Well,
I'm sure you have some.
I got some positive news for you, but you're going to have to tell me at the end of this what you would do.
All right. I want to thank you, first of all, for the past couple weeks for the positive news in bringing some light to
Mental
health
Yeah,
awareness
absolutely.
month and how important it is for everybody
1,000,000,000%.
so kudos to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, Ross is so whack. Sorry, guys.
So the spot in Springfield, Mass. Shout out to Massachusetts.
Actually, been there once. There was a record store called Strawberries, I believe.
Like
Serious.
not the real Strawberry record store that used to be a chain.
Yeah, but they didn't have those in New York. So to me, it was something different.
Well, they had them all over Boston.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm from New York, bro.
So Lucky Spot convenience store in Springfield, Mass. So the owner sold a winning scratch ticket to one of his regular customers.
Okay.
But the ticket sat discarded in the store for 10 days after the customer assumed it wasn't worth anything. So the owner says one evening I was going through the tickets from the trash and noticed she didn't scratch the number, the owner said. He scratched the number and it was $1 million underneath the ticket.
She threw it in the garbage, bro.
Yeah. We didn't sleep for 2 nights at the One. So he called his mom, his grandparents in India, and he said, and they told him, give it back. We don't want that money. So the family decided to return the ticket. And since the customer visited the store often, they knew where to find her. And as soon as she came in, they handed her the $1 million ticket. She obviously freaked out and cried.
You think?
What would you do in that situation?
Oh, well, it's a funny little story, though. Because how they know that specific ticket was hers, though?
They must.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they must.
But if I knew it was her ticket, I mean, it's $1 million. I would. I'm a pretty straight-laced dude. I'd give it back, hoping that she'd be like, well, here's like 50 grand.
Yeah. She had to have hit him off, right?
Had to hit him
Yeah.
off. But the store actually makes money off that back end anyways.
I know, but still, yeah.
I wouldn't even hesitate to give it back.
Oh, I like that.
I wouldn't even think twice.
I'd be so nervous to cash it in that I couldn't do it.
Have you ever scratched off a lottery ticket and thought you actually won $1 million? No. Because I did once, and I was I was walking out of my job to quit, sweating armpits.
And then you realize what?
And I realized I read it too fast. It was a rush. It was like I felt it in my toes,
Really?
It was the most weird outer body experience ever. I thought I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking like 19 years old. I just won $1 million.
You didn't win.
Dude, I was strutting to that door, and I go, I better look at that ticket one more time.
And you strutted right back.
I strutted right back and put it in the garbage. It was the biggest rush of 5 seconds ever, dude.
And that's the PNN. Oh, man. Well, we're back.
We're
back in full force.
Yo, shout out to everybody that's been getting the merch and helping us out.
Really appreciate that.
And staying in and listening to our awesome, fun, stupid show. Shout out our new sound guy, Hurley.
Hurley's crushing it.
Crushing it. He's so busy.
BigNightShop.com. Check us out. Get some merchandise.
Yo, support your family. Support your brothers. We ain't doing this. We know we ain't get paid for this.
BigNightShop.com. And you can find Jason at
Jason Smith Music on Instagram. And I am Jason Smith on SoundCloud. And you can find us at
I'm the promoter.
He's the DJ. And Jeff London _ Wait,
yeah.
did I fuck it up? I got it right?
You got it right.
Yeah,
Well, I know that. Nice job, Jason. See you next week.
Peace.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
Jeff London, DJ Jason Smith.
Here come the band.